Hey, this is Jared here. I got another manga update for the month of November. Alright, so first thing is Gantz Volume 37. This is the final volume of Gantz, and it's the final volume to one of my favorite mangas. So I'm really glad to have it, and now that I have the whole series, I plan on going back and rereading it all again. And if you ever had any interest in reading it, now's the best time because it's all out there for you. I realize it's not for everybody because of all the violence and stuff like that, but I really love it. I thought it was very intense, and I don't know, it was really great. It was amazing. I loved it. Nothing really much else to say, but just go check it out. It's really awesome. Alright, next is One Piece Volume 76. Not much to say on One Piece because it's one of the big three, so there's no point in explaining on what's going on, especially since this is Volume 76. I mean, if you're reading One Piece, you're pretty much in it for the long run if you're this far into it, like me. But I haven't been reading this arc of the story because I like to wait till the arc is finished and then I go and read the whole thing. So right now I don't know what's happening. I kind of know, and it sounds interesting. So once the arc finishes, I'll go back and reread the whole thing. So yeah. Next is Cage of Eden, Volume 19. I really like Cage of Eden. I've said it before. The series only has a few more volumes, I think. It's really near the end from what I've seen. But a very interesting concept. It's just a shame it wasn't more popular in Japan because it kind of got cut off. It finished, but it wasn't. It was really fast. It was abrupt. So the ending kind of came out of nowhere, and I kind of saw where they were going with the ending, and I think if it was stretched out a little longer, it would have been better. But it was still a good ending. It was still interesting. I just wish it kept going a little longer. But it's still a good read, and I do recommend it. So, Cage of Eden. Alright. Next is Noragami Stray God, Volume 2. I hear a lot of people talking about Noragami, especially since another season is coming out, or has come out, I don't know. But I heard it was a manga first, and I like to read manga over watching anime, so I checking it out, and so far it's enjoyable. I hear it gets a lot better as it goes on, and since I like it so far, that's good news because it gets even better. So, yeah, I guess I'll recommend it or not later once I've read more volumes and I decided if I really like it or not. Alright, next is Inu Yashiki Volume 2, which is from the creator of Gantz. This is his next work. And just like Gantz, the artwork is really detailed and really nice, and I like it. And in the first volume, this old man gets turned into a robot, and I don't know, it was really cool to see a main protagonist be this really old man, but he like kicks ass, which is funny. And in this volume, you find out that he wasn't the only one who got changed. This kid also, and of course the kid is, crazy and a bad guy, so it just pretty much, the second volume is all about him and what he does with the powers, while in the first volume it was the old man's story and what he did with them. So it'll be interesting to see what comes next and see them fight and stuff. It's interesting so far, but I don't see the series being that long unless like a bigger plot line happens, because as of right now it's very simple. It's just two guys with powers and one's probably going to take out the other, or they'll take each other out, so I don't know. But great artwork, and I like it so far. Alright, next is Ultraman Volume 2. As a kid, I was a big fan of kaiju movies like Godzilla. Actually, I am still a big fan of kaiju movies. I think Pacific Rim was awesome. But anyways, Ultraman is that kind of thing. Guy grows really huge, fights giant monsters. And this actually takes place after the original series, which was a 70s TV show. You don't have to have watched the show to understand this. This takes place years later, and I guess the son of Ultraman takes his place. I'm sure if you were a fan of Ultraman, it's even cooler because you see stuff from the original series. But as someone who's never seen it, I still enjoy it, and I think it's really cool. So I hope it keeps going because I like it so far. Next is Prison School, Volume 2. This is a ecchi comedy, so it's not really for everyone. But as far as ecchi comedy goes, I think it's pretty funny, and the artwork is I like it because it gives people weird faces. Like they're all drawn like really weird looking. But anyways, what's great about this is that look how thick this is. It's a really thick volume. I believe it's 2-in-1, so you get a lot out of it. So that's a good thing. And I'm enjoying it so far, and I don't know. I really want to see what happens with the characters. I didn't think I would like it that much, but I actually do. So yeah, Prison School. Next is A Silent Voice, Volume 2, 3, and 4. Last month I got the first volume, and I really wanted to get the rest. The series is 5 volumes long, and the 5th volume hasn't come out yet. So yeah, I gotta wait for that. But anyways, I really like this series. It's about a guy who, as a kid, really picked on this deaf girl, and he tormented her, and she eventually left the school. And then he realized what a jerk he was when he got older, and now he's trying to make it up to her in college, I believe they are. So I don't know. It's a sweet story. The first volume was really sad because the whole first volume was the past and how he picked on her. And what I liked about it was all through the bully's point of view, which was interesting because usually you only see through the kid who's getting picked on. And it also showed that bullies aren't just mean just to be mean, like they have a reason. Not that I'm saying bullying is good or anything, it's terrible, but like he was a kid and he picked on her because she changed the way his class was, and it made everyone kind of upset, so he picked on her, and the other kids thought it was kind of funny, so he kept doing it. And then eventually they all hated him for it because he was like taking it too far, and he just couldn't understand why. And after she left, everyone hated him, and I don't know, he grew up all sad and depressed, and he realized like how terrible he was. And I don't know, it's just very interesting. And 2, 3, and 4 just is about him trying to make it up to her, and I don't know, it's really sweet. So yeah. Anyways, 2, 3, and 4 of A Silent Voice, really good. Highly recommend it. Next is One Punch Man Volume 3. Now, this series, everyone's still talking about it, about the anime. And the first 2 volumes came out at once, and I said before in my last video that I thought it was really good, just not amazing, because I was expecting a lot out of it because everyone's talking it up, and it was okay. I liked it. It wasn't the best, but this 3rd volume made me like the series a lot more because it moved the plot forward. In the first volume, it was just the main character Saitama just beating up random people each chapter, which was cool and it was funny, but it wasn't really going anywhere. And this volume cemented like the story and the other superheroes in the world, and it just brought more lore to the story, and I'm actually really liking it now. And the artwork is still amazing, and I actually saw the first episode of the anime, and it was actually, I don't know, really cool and beautiful. Like normally a manga with really great artwork, I always feel it gets kind of, I don't know, cheated because the anime never really looks as good, but the anime for the series actually is really amazing, so I'm glad it looks good. So yeah, One Punch Man, I'm starting to really like it, and maybe that's why it's so popular. Maybe it actually does get better and better, which I'm hoping. So yeah, One Punch Man, read it. It's really good. Or watch the anime because it's actually really beautiful anime. Next is Batum Volume 2. This series has been out for a while, but I just recently got it. I finally got around to buying it. And I said the first volume was good. It reminds me of Battle Royale, which is my favorite book. And it's like Battle Royale, only instead of various weapons, it's various types of bombs, pretty much. So, I don't know, that's interesting. It's not unique enough to say that I'm going to like it more than Battle Royale, but it's still good. And I don't know. I think it's interesting, and I'm gonna keep reading it. I think there's 11 volumes out now, and yeah. So if you like stuff like Battle Royale or the Hunger Games, you know, like that kind of thing, then you should check it out. Next is Food Wars Volume 2. Food Wars was just like Batum, where it's been out for a while, but I just recently started reading it, and I really like it. It's all about cooking, and I'm not a cook or anything like that, but it makes cooking interesting. And unlike Toriko, which is pretty much fighting with food, this is really just cooking, and it's realistic pretty much. And yeah, I didn't think I would like it that much, but it's really interesting, and the author also puts in recipes and explains how to make food, which is pretty cool. So if you are into cooking, you should check it out, and if not, you should check it out anyways because it's still a lot of fun. So yeah. Next is Faerie Girls. It says volume 1, but I don't know if they're gonna make more of this. I think it's just a one volume thing. I don't know. But it's a spin-off of Fairy Tail, and I like Fairy Tail. And it takes place right after the Magic Games, which ends at volume 40. So if you read up to volume 40, then you can read it. It's by a different mangaka because, you know, the main author, you know, he has Fairy Tail to do. He can't do this at the same time. And it was okay. That's, you know, it wasn't that the story was bad. It was pretty fairy tale-ish. But it was just average. And the whole story got wrapped up in one volume, so, you know, you didn't expect much out of it. And the artwork isn't exactly like Fairy Tail. Well, you can tell just from this picture. They look a lot different, so that's kind of jarring. So it took me a while to get used to that, because I'm so used to the characters looking one way, and then here's like this different like artistic view. So it was okay. I think you should only read this if you're a really big fan of Fairy Tail and want to read, you know, the spin-offs. Otherwise, no point in reading it. But yeah, it was okay. Next is Tiger and Bunny Volume 8. The manga was originally an anime. The anime came first, and, you know, so far it's good. You know, usually manga spin-offs, well, not spin-offs, but retellings of anime are usually not that great because they feel really rushed. But this is good. I really liked it. I don't know how many volumes it's going to be. There can't be that many more left because it kind of seems like it's nearing the end of the story. But yeah, Tiger and Bunny is good. So if you have any interest in superheroes and stuff like that, it's enjoyable. So, yeah. Alright, let's see. Kuroneko Oreimo Volume... What volume is this? 3, yeah. There's going to be 6 volumes in all. It says so on the back, so... The main series Oreimo is only 4 volumes. And I liked Oreimo, but I like this one better because Kuroneko is the main character, and I like her a lot more than the sister. I always thought the sister was kind of just really mean. I know tsundere is like a thing people like, some people like. I don't really like tsundere that much. Only if it's very light. If it's light tsundere, then okay. Otherwise, the girls just don't come off as cute. They just come off as mean and annoying. I don't know why people like that so much. Anyways, yeah, so if you liked Oreimo, you should check this out. I think the anime covers this, but it's not considered like a spin-off Oreimo Kuroneko. I think it's just part of the main story. So if you've seen the whole anime, then you've probably already seen the stuff in here. So don't expect new content. But if you want to read the manga version, it's really good. I like the artwork. And yeah, it doesn't feel rushed or anything like that. So just check it out. Next is Bleach Volume 65. Like One Piece, there's really not much to say. It's one of the big 3, so there's no point in really talking about it. But yeah, still a good volume. I like the story arc. It's supposed to be the final story arc, but I don't know how long it's going to be. I think it's still going. I haven't heard anything about Bleach ending yet, so... But so far I like the story arc. I like it a lot better than the last story arc. That last story arc was terrible, but this one's good. And yeah, I'm gonna keep getting these volumes and see what happens. Next is School Live. I heard people talking about this anime, which made me interested in picking up the manga because people said that the manga was way better than the anime. Apparently, the anime was way too slice of life-ish. The manga's about a bunch of high school students trapped in their high school because there's a zombie apocalypse going on. And this main girl kind of lost her mind and is in a delusion that her school is still normal and everyday, and the other girls in her group tried their best to make her not realize what's going on, which is very dark if you think about it. And I know that's kind of spoilerish because in the first chapter you don't find that out until the end. Like, you think everything's normal, but it's spoiled on the back anyways, so I thought I might as well tell you. But there are other things, so. But apparently the anime focused way too much on this girl's point of view where everything's okay, so there's a lot of just like hanging out, happy slice of life crap. And if you like that, I guess check it out. But a lot of people said it kind of just weakened the anime into a generic moe anime that everyone has seen 1,000 times. So, but I do agree that the manga is enjoyable, so if it sounds interesting, you should read it. So, yeah. School Live, or School Live, I don't know which way it's supposed to be pronounced. Next is Terraformers Volume 9. I really need to go back and reread this because there's so much to the plot. It's so heavy that I always forget what the hell is going on every time I get a new volume. But it's still enjoyable. I like seeing the different transformations of the characters and the fight against the cockroaches. Yeah, I get lost sometimes in the plot because it's been a while since I read it. And I also have no idea where the plot's going. Usually I have some idea, like a guess, but I have no idea how this is gonna end or anything like that. I don't know where it's going from here, or if it'll even have a good ending, but so far it's a fun ride, so I do recommend reading it. It's actually really cool. So, Terraformers. It's still not as great as the first volume. I think the first volume was amazing, but it's still good. And lastly is Nisekoi Volume 12. One of the few harems I enjoy, just because I think it's cute and funny, and I enjoy the characters. There hasn't been a new girl added in a while, which I'm glad. I think too many girls, and it gets overboard, you know? And it would be starting to get ridiculous having this many girls want this guy. But so far it's still good, and yeah, I just hope it doesn't drag on too long, because it kind of gets frustrating where you're just like, oh my god, just confess to the guy, or to the guy, confess to the girl you want. It's, you know, that can get really old after a while, so hopefully it doesn't go on too long. This volume ended on a cliffhanger where it might actually reveal some stuff, so at least they still do a good job at pulling you in even when you kind of start to get sick of it. But if you like harems, definitely check it out because I think it's one of the better ones. And if you don't like harems, check this out because it might surprise you, because I enjoy it, and I'm not a big harem fan because they're all too similar to me. But this one's fun, so yeah, just check it out if that interests you at all. And that's all for November, and I'll make a video for December as soon as I finish reading the volumes. So, thanks for watching.